When Great Zimbabwe's stone towers pierced the horizon, colonizers swore Africans couldn't build cities. They buried the truth. Gold from these lands funded Venetian palaces, and African kings traded with emperors from China to Brazil. The wind still howls through Zimbabwe's empty halls, carrying whispers of empires erased. In the 12th century, Africa was no isolated continent. Kanem-Bornu's salt caravans snaked across the Sahara, their camel hooves thudding against dunes, cowrie shells clinking in leather pouches as traders met Venetian merchants in Tripoli's bustling markets. Venetian glass beads, their colors shimmering like trapped firelight, were buried in Nigerian tombs alongside gold ingots. On the Swahili coast, Kilwa's ports buzzed with dhows unloading Chinese porcelain, their delicate edges glinting in the sun. Archaeologists later found Kilwa's coins in Australian digs, carried by trade winds that linked continents. Great Zimbabwe, its granite walls rising like silent sentinels, was the heart of this global web. Its king sent gold, 4 tons a month, according to trade logs etched on clay, to the Song dynasty, where African envoys walked the courts of Hangzhou, their robes heavy with the scent of myrrh. The air in Timbuktu's markets crackled with languages, Arabic, Hausa, Swahili, as manuscripts piled high, their pages rustling with knowledge of astronomy and law. But Europe's arrival brought sabotage. In the 16th century, Portuguese sailors, their boots crunching on Zanzibar's coral beaches, torched Swahili libraries. The crackle of burning manuscripts filled the air, their ashes drifting like blackened snow. In Mapungubwe, where golden rhinos gleamed atop royal graves, Cecil Rhodes' men tore through sacred hills. They pried artifacts from the earth, the soil stained with the sweat of looted kings. Rhodes' diary, its pages brittle with age, confesses his intent: burn the scrolls, savages can't have written history. His words drip with contempt, as if the clink of stolen gold in British coffers could drown out Africa's past. A 1482 Portuguese map, its ink faded but legible, named the Kingdom of Matapa gold beyond measure. Yet, by 1901, a British report dismissed Great Zimbabwe's towers as native structures of mysterious origin, the words typed with cold arrogance, erasing centuries of craftsmanship. The truth pulses louder in Great Zimbabwe's trade logs, uncovered in fragments beneath the city's dust. 4 tons of gold flowed monthly to China, corroborated by Arabic chronicles describing African envoys in Ming courts, their hands adorned with rings that caught the lantern light. These records, etched in clay and vellum, hum with defiance, their edges worn but unyielding. Kanem-Bornu's traders navigated deserts with astrolabes, their brass dials glinting under starlight, guiding caravans with precision stolen by Arabs and credited to Persia. The wind through Great Zimbabwe's empty grain silos moans, a hollow wail that speaks of empires that fed millions, now reduced to ghosts feasting on silence. A Shona elder, his voice trembling with controlled fury, lamented in 1920, "They called our ancestors primitives, as they melted our kings' faces into gold bars." The words linger, heavy as the gold-dusted air of looted tombs. The spike of truth came not just from logs but from what survived the flames. In Timbuktu, hidden manuscripts, their ink smelling of ancient inkpots, detailed Mansa Musa's 1324 pilgrimage. His caravan, stretching miles, carried so much gold that Cairo's markets crashed, the clink of coins drowned by merchants' panicked shouts. The Song dynasty's ceramic shards, unearthed in Zanzibar, gleam with the same blue-white glaze as those in Chinese palaces, proof of trade that spanned oceans. Yet colonizers rewrote the story. In the 1970s, an archivist in London, her fingers brushing gold-dusted fingerprints on looted Benin bronzes, felt the maker's hands still claiming their work. These bronzes, cast with celestial precision predating European metallurgy, showed Africans holding Portuguese figures as servants, their brass faces frozen in submission. The archivist's breath caught, the air thick with the scent of old metal and betrayal. But the most damning proof wasn't stolen, it was forged. Colonial scholars, their pens scratching lies on parchment, fabricated tales of lost tribes building Africa's cities, anything to deny African hands shaped those stones. Great Zimbabwe's walls, fitted without mortar, stood as silent rebukes, their granite surfaces warm under the sun, as if still breathing. The Benin bronzes, their surfaces gleaming with cosmic patterns, mocked museum tags reading, "Artist, Unknown." The air in those galleries feels wrong, heavy with the static of stolen legacy. In Kilwa, where coral mosques once echoed with prayers, the wind carries the faint clatter of cowrie shells, as if the market still thrives in shadow. Today, the battle for restitution burns. Museums in London and Berlin hoard Benin bronzes, their curators dodging demands for return, their excuses thin as the dust on glass cases. In 2023, a Nigerian delegation, their voices sharp with defiance, presented evidence, brass plaques showing Portuguese kneeling before Benin kings, their metal surfaces glinting with truth. Posts from 2024 buzz with outrage, users sharing images of looted artifacts under sterile museum lights, their captions demanding justice. The fight is not just for objects but for the story they tell, a story of African empires that rivaled Rome, their markets alive with the clink of coins, the rustle of silk, the hum of global trade. Great Zimbabwe's towers still stand, their stones whispering of wealth that built worlds, of kings whose names were erased but whose gold still shines in foreign vaults. The wind through those towers carries a warning. Africa's history, buried under lies, is clawing its way back. The clatter of cowrie shells, the crackle of burning scrolls, the glint of gold and looted graves, they echo in the present, demanding to be heard. The hands that built empires, their fingerprints dusted in gold, never let go.